Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Thursday, the 30th of July. 1993 Mumbai blast convict Yakub Memon hanged in India's Nagpur jail. Amnesty International demands probe into murder of Sindh activist Raja Dahir Bambro. And India's former President Abdul Kalam laid to rest amid state honours. And now for all the details. The 1993 Mumbai blast convict Yakub Memon was hanged on Thursday morning in Western India's Nagpur jail. The execution came 21 years after his surrender. A report.
Yakub Memon, the lone convict in the 1993 Mumbai serial bombings, was hanged at 7 a.m. in Western India's Nagpur jail. The execution followed a flurry of activity during the night when Memon's lawyer filed a final petition against his client's death sentence. The Supreme Court was then actually opened up in the middle of the night to hear the lawyer's arguments, the first time that has ever happened. But the Solicitor General rejected Memon's final petition, stating that filing repeated mercy petitions was a misuse of provisions.
The due process of law, after a long battle, was completed and then finally this decision was taken. So I think the justice to the victims of 93 terror attack can be complete only when the prime accused in this case are brought to the country.
A chartered accountant by profession, Memon was convicted in 2007 by the Special Terrorist and Disruptive Activities Court for financially assisting the planning and execution of the bombings in India's financial capital, Mumbai. For others, however, the execution restored their faith in judiciary.
कि हिंदुस्तान में लोकतंत्र जिंदा है, आज आखिर आतंकवाद के विरुद्ध की लड़ाई को न्याय मिलेगा.
Executions are only rarely carried out in India, but over the past 3 years, President Pranab Mukherjee has rejected a number of mercy pleas, ending what many perceived as a de facto 8-year moratorium. The message behind this latest execution is that terrorism will not be allowed to prevail, but the effectiveness of the death penalty as a deterrent is very much open to question and debate.
The Amnesty International has demanded a probe into the alleged extrajudicial killing of political activist Raja Dahir Bambro. Pakistani authorities had earlier this week confirmed that the nationalist leader who went missing in June was dead.
The Amnesty International has sought an impartial, independent and transparent investigation into the abduction and extrajudicial killing of Raja Dahir Bambro. The rights watchdog has also urged the Pakistan government to probe the role of the security agencies in his disappearance and murder. Sindh nationalist leader Bambro was abducted from his native village in Khairpur on June 4th. He is the son of noted Sindhi historian and writer Atta Muhammad. Bambro's body was recovered a month later, dumped in an isolated area with torture marks and bullet injuries on his head. His family said the police had handed over the body to a non-governmental for burial without even informing the relatives. Jai Sindh Muttahida Mahaz, the organization for which Bambro was a member, has announced a 10-day mourning to protest his killing. The World Sindhi Congress is also holding a demonstration in London on Sunday to bring international attention on the long-standing issue of enforced disappearances and unending extrajudicial killings by Pakistani security agencies. Activists said the people in the southern province of Sindh are living under situations similar to a martial law.
और उस सारी सूरताल में एक मार्शल लॉ की सूरताल है, लिटरली फौजी कोर्ट्स हैं. कोई जो मसलन इस दफ़े एक हमारे बहुत बड़े इंटेलेक्चुअल हैं, उनके बेटे को उठा के लेके गए कोर्ट, हाई कोर्ट में अपील भी हुई, गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से कोई नहीं आया. सो सारा सिंध जो है, it is run by security agencies.
Sindh is geographically the second largest province of Pakistan and accounts for nearly 35% of the country's annual GDP. The region has also traditionally been home to the Sindhi ethnic group. But due to years of migration of outsiders encouraged by Pakistani administration, it has made the Sindhi people a minority in their own homeland.
India on Thursday bid a tearful adieu to its former president APJ Abdul Kalam. Known as the People's President, Kalam was laid to rest in his ancestral village in Tamil Nadu.
India's southern coast of Rameshwaram turned into a sea of humanity on Thursday as millions converged into the remote town to pay their last respects to one of the country's most popular presidents. Those attending his last rites included Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Federal Ministers Manohar Parrikar, Venkaiah Naidu and Congress Party Vice President Rahul Gandhi, apart from a number of provincial chief ministers. Wrapped in the tricolour, his body was laid to rest with full state honours. As his admirers bid him a soulful goodbye, millions across India continued to pay tribute to the eminent scientist who went on to become the head of the state. Kalam's former long-time colleagues recalled his contributions.
It's a great loss for humanity. He is such a personal. I will not restrict only in the scientific realm. He was a global leader. He was caring for the humanity, and always the downtrodden and poor people were his priority, and he has lived his full life and he has given his life to the youth.
While many across the country also held candlelight vigils and prayers for Kalam, renowned sand artist Sudarshan Patnaik designed a sculpture in eastern Puri to pay his respects. Several from the film industry also remembered the renowned leader.
बड़े अच्छे इंसान और बहुत इंटेलिजेंट इंसान और बच्चों के साथ बड़ा लगाव और बहुत अच्छी बातें और बहुत अच्छी स्पीचेस देते थे, तो उनकी बातें सुनना बहुत अच्छा लगता था, बड़ों को भी और बच्चों को भी. ऐसे राष्ट्रपति थे वो.
Born into a fisherman family in southern Tamil Nadu, Kalam used to work as a newspaper boy before becoming an aeronautics engineer. After working with the DRDO and the ISRO for over 4 decades, he went on to become a key figure in developing India's space technology, which earned him the name of Missile Man. Known to having a love for teaching and academics, Kalam passed away late on Monday after suffering a cardiac arrest while addressing students in northeastern Shillong.
Pakistan has confirmed the postponement of peace talks between the Afghan government and the Taliban, which were scheduled for Friday. This came a day after reports of Taliban leader Mullah Omar's death emerged. Analysts have said the developments might cast a shadow on the proposed dialogue between the two sides.
As confusion continues to prevail over the death of Mullah Omar, the Taliban has dismissed reports of any fresh round of peace talks with the Afghan government. The militia, which refrained from commenting on the reports of Omar's death that began doing the rounds, it said it wasn't aware about any such meeting. A spokesperson for Afghan President Ashraf Ghani had late on Wednesday announced through a statement citing credible information that Omar had died of an unknown illness 2 years back in a Karachi hospital in Pakistan. Afghans believe the latest development has cast a shadow on the engagement between the two sides. Analysts say Omar's death will further splinter the Taliban and delay the peace talks aimed at finding a way to end the decades-long conflict in Afghanistan.
Young generation may be separate from traditional of the Taliban leaders when they want to have conflict by war solution.
The Taliban and the Afghan government held their first formal talks in Islamabad earlier this month, which was felicitated by Pakistan and also backed by China and the US. Earlier, there were reports that the two sides will meet in Islamabad on Friday.
Myanmar's opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi is set to contest the upcoming parliamentary polls. The election is being seen as a game changer in the politics of Myanmar.
Amid loud cheers and flag-waving supporters, opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi registered for the upcoming elections at the Union Election Commission in Yangon on Wednesday. Suu Kyi is the first candidate to be confirmed by the National League for Democracy or NLD for the parliamentary polls. Many said Suu Kyi's candidature has raised optimism for a positive change in Myanmar. Myanmar goes to polls on November 8th in what is being billed as the first legitimate ballot in a quarter of century. Many are hopeful that Sochi's NLD will sweep the election if held in a free and fair manner.
And while Myanmar prepares for its crucial polls, Hollywood actor Angelina Jolie made a first trip to the country. Jolie, who reached Myanmar on Wednesday, met President Thein Sein in capital Naypyidaw. The actor is on a 4-day trip to the country as both the special envoy for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees and founder of Preventing Sexual Violence Initiative. She is also likely to meet various women's groups and internally displaced people in Rakhine State to take first-hand account about their concerns. Jolie's trip came after a personal invitation from Myanmar opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi. Jolie had also previously met Burmese refugees living in Thailand during several trips to the country. Ahead of the wedding calendar, designers are up on their sleeves to unveil the best clothing line for the season. Take a look at how one of the most exuberant fashion fiestas kicked off in capital New Delhi.
Fresh collaborations, new launches and celebrity spotting. The 6th season of India Couture Week promises to bring plenty of splendors onto the ramp. From jumpsuit shararas to edgy evening wear, the grandeur of gowns to floral flamboyance, the mega event this season is set to bring traditional cuts amalgamated with modern interpretation. And giving it the perfect kickstart on Wednesday was Sabyasachi Mukherjee. The celebrity designer chose to collaborate with French footwear designer Christian in the opening show. The vintage collection, titled Beta after one of India's most common hunting birds, used an earthy colour palette of greys and browns. Mukherjee said he wanted his line to be dark this season.
I wanted to do a collection that was inspired by hunting birds and prey. I wanted to keep it dark, gothic, sexual, but with very, very fine, intricate Indian embroidery, but on non-traditional silhouettes.
The Fashion Week will see 12 couturiers showcasing their collections over next 5 days. Designers like Gaurav Gupta, Anju Modi, Manish Malhotra, Manav Gangwani and Monisha Jaisingh are among the participating names.
While militant groups continue to unleash violence in real life, Bollywood this weekend gives a satirical take on global terrorism. Take a look at how the suicide bombers plan to go on a comic rampage in real life.
A fictional country of metaphorical suggestions where the mountainous north is dominated by Muslim extremists and the south is ruled by the Hindu fundamentalists. Bangistan has actors Ritesh Deshmukh and Pulkit Samrat playing two aspiring terrorists with lofty ideologies on a mission to change the world. The duo talked about the film in capital New Delhi. The unique promotional saw the launch of a food joint named after a fictional eatery from the film, which would remain open for public for a few days. Deshmukh said the comic satire did not hurt the sentiments of any religious group.
It's not any anti-religion, but it's anti-people who believe in terrorism. ये film actually it's anti-terrorism. ये actually propagate करती है कि कोई भी धर्म हो, कोई भी मजहब हो, आपको प्यार में विश्वास करना चाहिए. Humanity above everything.
तो दुश्मन को हराने के लिए दुश्मन की तरह बन जाओ.
The film by debutant director Karan Anshuman is the story about Hafiz bin Ali and Praveen Chaturvedi, both citizens of an imaginary nation called Bangistan. The two are brainwashed by their respective communities into becoming suicide bombers and trained to attack a world peace conference in Poland. As Hafiz and Praveen disguise themselves by changing their religious identity, the film follows their journey of self-discovery and their eventual change of heart. The film opens this weekend and also stars Jacqueline Fernandez, Kumud Mishra and Arya Babbar.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. 1993 Mumbai blast, convict Yakub Memon hanged in India's Nagpur jail. Amnesty International demands probe into murder of Sindh activist Raja Dahir Bambro. And India's former president Abdul Kalam laid to rest amid state honours. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsia Newsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsia Newsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.